Welcome back to another episode. So today I'm going to talk about WordPress versus the other options that exist. And this question comes up every now and then. And recently today I answered this specific question on Quora, which is the social media / knowledge-based website that I like writing on. So the question is, why do people still ask companies to build landing pages and WordPress websites? Why not just use a service like Wix or Shopify or any of the other options that exist out there? This question comes up often because obviously WordPress is the largest and most widely used content management system for everyday blogs to e-commerce based sites, and even Fortune 500 companies use WordPress. So 27% of the modern day web is powered by this open source platform. Why is that? I mean, obviously they have years of momentum building up to such widespread use, and with millions of websites using it, it just continues to snowball, right? The snowball effect takes on, and more people understand it, more documentation is out there, more people are recommending it. So obviously that is one reason why so many websites use it. And the reason why I recommend it to people versus some of the other options is because of ownership. Now, let me state this first. The other options do provide a valuable service. Wix, Weebly, Shopify, Squarespace, they have their niche and they have their clientele that they meet the needs for. Their service is definitely used by a lot of people. But why WordPress more? And again, it goes back to the ownership, right? So when you use a third-party service, it's like renting a house or renting an apartment. You live there, you have your site there, you have your files and your blog posts there. But do you really own that service? No, you're really renting it. I mean, you're on their servers. You could use their designs, and you could use their functionality, and they have a lot of functionality, to be honest with you, but it's just not quite where WordPress is, right? If you go to WordPress, on the other hand, you buy a domain name, $10 a year, you get your hosting, about $5 to $10 a month, and you download the free WordPress software. Right there, you already have access to thousands upon thousands of free themes and plugins that you can find on the WordPress.org repository, or you can go the option of getting a premium theme to power your website and some premium plugins and a mixture of all. Then you can also get someone to custom design a website for you, and that's awesome because you really get to carve out and design something that's different from what's out there. And it's that customization, the ability to customize your site in the way you want it to look and function, that really separates WordPress from some of the other options that exist. Again, if the other services meet your needs, then they're great. But if there's limitations in design and functionality, that's where WordPress will be one of the best options for you to choose from. Of course, there's other ones like Joomla and Drupal, who are also open source platforms and have a lot of functionality that you can customize. But WordPress is the one I'm talking about today, and it's also what powers so many websites online. If you look at the stats from W3 Techs, you're going to see that WordPress powers the vast majority of websites using a content management system or a third-party service. That's for a reason. And again, it's the momentum, the snowball effect, but there's also the ability to own your content and to customize your site, to suit your needs. That's powerful. And if you want to, build up your blog, if you want to, build up your website to be something larger than just, an everyday type of blog, you might want to have some, some control over the design and the functionality of the site that some of the third-party services may not, really provide. So that's why I recommend it to my clients. That's why I use WordPress. Just going through my answer, I talk about how, with WordPress, with your domain and your hosting, you have all the assets on your hosting account that you control. So you can customize your hosting environment. If you want something faster, you get a VPS, maybe a dedicated server. You could even, scale it by getting multiple servers where one can act like a content delivery network, and the other one can be, for your images and assets, things of that nature. You really can customize the hosting environment. And obviously that's more advanced, but you get what I'm saying. You own it. If you decide later on you want to migrate away from WordPress, you can do that easily. You have all the files, you have all your assets, you have your database on your server. You can download that to your computer. You can then choose to go to another platform. Maybe Drupal is what you decide later on you want to try, or Joomla, or some other solution that might exist. You would have that SQL file that you can then upload, or even an XML file of your site that you could upload to the new service or provider. So that's powerful. Now, some of the third-party services, enable you to download some of your content. So your posts or your articles or some of your pages, you could download those, but you may not get everything. What about your images? What about some of the other assets that are on the page, on your site? That might be a little bit more difficult, to get from the third-party service, only because of the way it's structured. It's easy to get into, it's harder to get out of. So my recommendation to the vast majority of people, if you're looking to get a highly functional, visual appealing website or blog, WordPress is the way to go. And the self-hosted version of WordPress, because that'll give you the absolute most control and ownership of your website. Some people say, well, I want to try something different because WordPress is easily hacked. Well, that's actually not true. Any website can get hacked. I mean, literally, you have government websites that have been hacked. You have Fortune 500 companies who have had their websites hacked. So anybody on any platform using any service can get hacked. The thing is, you got to keep your website up to date. You got to make sure you're using, the best security practices by using unique usernames and passwords that are extremely long and difficult to break, and also, where possible, using two-factor authentication. So as long as you keep your code and your website up to date on both the server and the application or website side, you will do well. And as long as you have a strong password and using two-factor authentication, you will make it very difficult for somebody to get into your site. Granted, any website can get hacked into. So, but as long as you're using the best security practices, your site will be just fine. Even the most recent attack on WordPress-based sites, where almost 1.5 million or 2 million, websites were defaced, that happened because the websites weren't, kept up to date. The core files, weren't kept up to date. Some themes were outdated. Some plugins were outdated. So it goes back to, you have control over your website. You also have some responsibility. So keeping your stuff up to date is extremely important. I did a video on how you can make sure that your website, your themes, and your plugins stay updated on a continuous basis, even if you don't log into your site. And you should check it out. It'll definitely help you out in the long run, because keeping your site updated is one of the most important aspects when it comes to website security. So the issue of, another system might be more secure, that's not true, because again, any website, any service, any provider can get hacked, and a lot of the responsibility falls upon us, right? We have to keep our stuff, current, and monitor, our websites and our assets to make sure that nothing is, vulnerable, or as least vulnerable as possible. You got to minimize the attack surface. And a lot of people say, well, wait, WordPress is very popular, so that's why it's so highly targeted. So if I choose another service or platform, I'll have security through obscurity. Now that may be an argument, but in reality, it doesn't take much for a person to, for a hacker or hacker team, to scan the entire internet, identify websites, and start doing brute force attacks. And that's regardless of whatever platform you're using. Of course, they can target a specific platform and look for vulnerabilities within that platform, but in reality, all websites can get hacked. So the issue of security is a mute issue, because WordPress is actively maintained. Updates happen on a constant basis, just like you have to update your phone. Just like you have to update your computers, and just like you have to update almost any other piece of technology you have, you got to keep your website up to date. I mean, there's a reason why you get application updates on your iPhone or your Android phone, and there's a reason why you get updates to your, Mac OS operating system or your Windows operating system. Heck, even Linux requires updates to patch security issues, and Linux is, considered by far the most secure platform out there. So when people come to me and say, look, Joel, I want a website. What service, what platform should I build my website on? I tell them WordPress. And I tell them it's the best way for you to control your site, own your site, and customize your site. And that's an amazing feature set right there. And then, obviously they can build their website, for low cost. They can just get a $10 domain name, get the $5 to $10 per month hosting account, and they can build a website with free themes and free plugins. So for like less than, about $100 for a year, you can have a highly functional, visually appealing website. And of course, you can take it to the next level by getting premium themes and premium plugins, and even get your entire website powered by WordPress customized. And that would cost more, but again, the control is yours. So when the question gets asked, why do people, still choose and recommend and ask for WordPress versus a third-party service? It's because of the customization, it's because of the ownership, and it's because of the ability to fully control a website and its future path. I mean, I'd like to tell people, think 5 to 10 years ahead. Where do you see your website going? And what platform is going to be able to help you scale and reach your goals in the future? So this is why I recommend WordPress. It gives you that scalability that a lot of services and platforms may not be able to provide. Alright, so that's my answer. If you want to take a look at the answer on Quora, I'll leave a link down in the description below to my answer so you can read more about that. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you found this this video helpful, because we'll be going over more tips and tricks on how to power your website, how to keep it secure, how to manage it, and how to take your online identity to the next level. Alright, so thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.